Hey mini enthusiasts, how are you doing? I hope you're all having a great day. Welcome back. It's another update on Project Sprout. So let's start with an unboxing because that seems to be the theme lately. I have started already, but I haven't actually had this out of the box yet. My wife had a look while I was away just to let me know what the postman had delivered. Again, it's off eBay, it's second hand. We like recycling on Sprout. Oh, here we go. Look. Yeah. Let's get that out of the way. So, it is a complete new 2-speed heater box and heater matrix for Project Sprout. Can you remember why we're replacing it? Let me just show you quickly. So this is the heater matrix or the heater box that was originally on Sprout. The matrix was leaking, but this has had this section cut out the front here for that custom consoles, center console it had in there. So I needed the casing and I needed the matrix, but I've got this complete heater box off eBay. Hopefully the matrix is okay. I'll probably pressure test that. It doesn't look like it's been leaking though. You can usually see. Yeah, and we'll check the fan before we put it in, but yeah, that was a good find. I'm pleased with that, so let's get that in Sprout then. Just wanted to share this with you. I've literally just finished the last clip and I was just looking over this heater box, so I'm going to pressure test the matrix to make sure it's not leaking. I might even just take it out to have a look at it physically, but I thought I'd check the heater motor resistor. So on an MPI Mini, it has twin speed heaters, slow and fast, so twice the amount of options you normally have on a Mini, which is just on and off. So speed 1, speed 2, the way it works is speed 2 is full battery voltage, so it's 12 volts, 13 volts or 13.5 if the engine's running, so that's fast, that's speed 2. And when you want to slow it down to speed 1, what it does is it passes it through a resistor to lower the voltage. That resistor, same as on most cars actually, whether it has like a 3 or 4 speed heater as well, that resistor generally fits in the fan housing because the resistor gets hot and it relies on the fan actually to keep the resistor cool. I've just taken it out. Now this is really annoying because I bought this off eBay, twin speed heater all working. To be fair, the guy had bought it an auto jumble I think, so he probably didn't know himself. And I've just had a look. And this is the resistor, this is the element that goes inside that heater there, and that's what will give it the slow speed number 1. So if I put it in without that working, it would still work on speed number 2, but it wouldn't work on speed number 1. Now luckily, the heater that's in Sprout, which has got a leaking matrix and is cut at the front, the heater resistor in it, although it's a bit grubby, it's still intact. So I'm just going to swap them over. I might check it with a multimeter, just check the resistance, but it looks okay. Plonk that in there, and that should mean we get speed 1 and speed 2. Right, so I've got these heater pipes off now. We'll keep them as spares actually, and a valve, that's quite handy. Bit of rusty water on there. Really easy to get out the matrix on an MPI Mini. On earlier Minis you have to split the heater box. Really easy on an MPI though, it just slides in the side here, held in with a couple of screws. Make sure we don't damage the fins taking it out. So that's looking pretty good. So what we're looking for is, you see that we've got the rusty water there, so if this was leaking you'd be able to see rusty water inside here, but it's looking pretty spot on, that is. Like I say, I do have a pressure tester and I've got a vacuum tester as well. I can rig up some pipes, put it under vacuum for a few hours, but that's looking good. And then what I can do is look down inside the heater box itself, check the fan spins, which it does. There is rusty water in there actually, but I think this has probably had a leak in heater matrix before, and that matrix has been replaced because there's rusty water right up the side. I can't imagine it's from this matrix. Pretty sure it isn't actually, because I'm sure there should be some sort of foam lining around here. I might just have a look at the one that was in Sprout. So yeah, let's get this assembled back. We'll then test it in the car and then install it in the car. Right, sorry, I keep waffling on. So I just wanted to show you this. This is the new matrix in the new heater box. Like I was saying, I was pretty sure it should have some foam around the outside of here. It hasn't, which leads me to think it's probably been replaced at. This is the one out of Sprout. Now I know this was leaking, but just look at how minging that is. I mean, I know that's been leaking and left for a number of years, but this is the foam I was talking about. Obviously it's all deteriorated on Sprout now, but maybe I can get some foam for that. It's really just to direct the airflow a little bit better and to maybe stop it rattling, but that is just horrible. Wow. Right, so we've had the heater back in the car now, just connected it up, made sure it worked on speeds 1 and 2, which it does. That's great. The matrix is back in the heater box now, and I showed you earlier, this is the old one. It has foam around the outside, that's all come off this. I mean, I'm just going to chuck this in the bin now. But what I managed to get hold of was some of this sort of closed cell foam. It's got sticky backing on the back of it. And I just cut that into like 1-inch strips. And I've covered the top, the bottom, and both sides at the back. The reason for doing that, obviously it mounts at the front. 1, it's to stop it vibrating. But 2, you want to make sure the maximum amount of airflow out the fan goes through the actual core of the heater. Because if it goes around the side here or over the top or under the bottom, it won't be warmed. So you want to ensure a good seal around there, which I did. This is probably a little bit, could have probably done with being about 2 mil thinner, but it fit in there. It's a really snug fit. It might just make it a bit of a pain to come out again. But that's sealed up nicely the whole way around. So like I say, that'll mean the heater will work really well. So if you've ever had a replacement heater matrix, they've just put it in without the foam, chances are it won't work very well. So that's the heater box ready to go back in. I've just flushed out the cooling system again, so it's had 2 flushes now. Just cleaned out the header tank, so that's looking good. I've got a thing about dirty header tanks and rusty coolant, so I don't like that at all. So that's cleaned out quite nicely. And then finally 5 litres of silicate-free antifreeze. We won't be using 5 litres. This is a concentrate, so it'll be more like 2 litres we use in that. You can make antifreeze concentration too strong, and it can cause problems with cooling the engine if there's too much antifreeze in there, because antifreeze doesn't cool as well as plain water, believe it or not. So you can have too much. So yeah, we're going to get the heater box in now, header tank back on, refill it with coolant and run it up. Fingers crossed. I couldn't see any leaks, so that should be the last time we have to tap into the cooling system. Right, so that's that job done now. So that's the heater matrix in. We might have to take it out again or unbolt it anyway just to fit the carpets in properly, but speed 1, speed 2. Everything's coming out the right places. I've got to fix a heater knob. That cable still works, but the knob's broken off the end. And now we're just running it up. Obviously that header tank bottle all cleaned out now. Looks so much better when you don't have rusty water in there. So that's that for this week. Catch up again soon. Like I say, I know I'm a bit OCD about having nice clean coolant in there, but one thing it does do is gives you an early warning sign if anything's going wrong in the engine, because if that's not nice and clean, it's being contaminated with something, and it's very, very easy to spot a leak. It's bright pink, that stuff, it's almost luminous, but you see a bit on the floor, and yeah, it's easy to find leaks.